Are we live? Are we live? Question mark. I should probably get the background music going. We're live. Oh yeah. Okay. Let me get chat pulled up on my phone. And then we can begin. And I'll make a community post. Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. Chat is now on my phone. Awesome sauce. Hello, guys. Thank you for joining. Just gonna do this real quick. How are we doing, guys? How are we doing? I was having issues with the face cam and microphone, but those should be solved now. You guys should be able to hear me fine. Yeah. Hi, kitty. I got the kitties here. I'm not gonna go full screen. I'm not gonna go full screen on this stream just because I don't want to mess anything up. But Caroline, we got a cat, and then another cat. We got the cats. Hi. You're good? That's awesome. We love to hear it. We love to hear it. Okay, so today, look, if we finish this early, I will do the gay test hard. Okay, just for you. We're gonna be doing a ranking again. Yeah, we're gonna be ranking all of Matpat's Fnaf theories. Actually, I am going to pull up a playlist of them. Not so that we can watch them all, but just in case we need something. Oh yeah, this stream is gonna be insane. We are going to be ripping on Matpat. Yeah, so I'm gonna have this open just so we can refer to them in case we don't remember what the theories were. Yeah. Okay. Let me change the music. Phone guy is purple guy. Oh yeah. Nah, it's too intense. That's also too intense. Let's do this one. Okay. So, also, I'm gonna change up these. Music Man should be at the top. Hang on. Music Man! Wow, that looks awful. Music Man. And then, what do we call the bottom tier? What should we call the bottom tier? I didn't name these, by the way, just so you know. Should we... I have not listened to Stuck Inside, no. Whoops. Sorry. I forgot to do the homework. We'll call this Scott tier. Why not? We can keep this as Golden Freddy, I guess. We'll keep mid, and we'll call this one like, I don't know. We'll call this one Fazgoo. Alright, we got Music Man tier, Golden Freddy, mid, Fazgoo, Scott. Yeah. Alright. Let's get into it, I guess. So, the first one. No. I think my PC is being possessed. Matpat's first Fnaf theory. Okay. This is the one where he drew inspiration from the real-life Chuck E. Cheese murders. Not off to a great start. There is some... He said that we play as the killer, which would eventually become true in Ultimate Custom Night. And this video is also really what popularized 1993 for FNAF 1. And I do think he was correct with that. but I think it has to go into Scott here, just because it's... oh god. Yeah, just because he drew that connection to the real-life murders. Yeah, obviously that's not what Scott was intending. I think we should rank these on how accurate they are and how well they hold up. And of course, you know, what he says. Which this one, the 1993 part, I think aged the best. Yeah. Golden Freddy did not die in the kitchen. Yeah, did not age well. My dad really likes this theory, if that means anything. He likes the he likes the connection between the real life killers. I don't know what that says about him, but yeah, that one's definitely going at Scott here. All right, FNAF 2. This one is a lot more accurate. I think she dies in 1983, but I think you've said she dies in 1982 before, which fair enough. Yeah, FNAF 2. This is when he said it was a prequel, which obviously. Oh god, we already have to refer to the playlists. I think... Does he say that phone guy is purple guy here? Okay, he said... He touches on Charlie's death. Says that was the first kill. Obviously, that's correct. He says it's at the first location, too. Which is correct. He gives a basic timeline. Yeah, and then he says phone guy is purple guy, which is like the big takeaway from this video. I would say like the first half of the theory is correct. When he's talking about this game being a prequel, he's spot on. When he talks about Charlie being William's first kill, again, spot on. But then he goes into phone guy being purple guy, which is not correct. And Scott himself commented on that video saying like he got almost everything right, and we know that obviously now the thing he didn't get right is purple guy being phone guy. But I would still put this in mid tier. For the time, excellent theory. I can 100% see how he'd come to that conclusion. But the first half is really the only part that's stood the test of time. I do not remember the FNAF 3 video. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Let me just make sure stream's still going. Yep, okay, we're chilling. The IO Fortnite? Oh my gosh. Okay, what is the FNAF 3 theory? I don't... I think he just gives a general timeline. Yeah, he gives a timeline, which... Yeah, whoops. Yeah, obviously that timeline's correct. Yeah. It's the same thing, but for FNAF 3. I think you're right. I think does he stick to phone guy being purple guy? I mean, he kind of just recaps it. Okay, he talks about William using Spring Bonnie, which is correct. William stuffing the children? Is that what it is? Here. Here. Okay, hang on. Will stuff. Yep, okay. I think he's right on that. I think he's right with Will stuff. I guess we'll just watch them. Yeah, literally the second half is phone guy's purple guy. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh.
Let's go back to the give gifts, give life minigame. The children are lying there dead, and the puppet first tries to give them giving presents.
Mm-hmm.
Still, and it does the only up to save them, like we've been assuming. But then what about the fifth child? And at the very is a deep, taken out mechanism. Thus came endoskeleton. An endoskeleton maybe counts.
What? Bro, talk about FNAF 3! Okay, so he's saying the puppet's like a bad guy. Oh god, he said the puppet hid the bodies? Oh, Matpat. Ooh, Matpat. Eee. Ooh, Matpat. No, that's not... No. Okay, now he's... Talk about FNAF... Okay, I don't know, that's a nothing burger. It's literally just his FNAF 2 video. I'm just Fazgoot here. Okay, Next one. Okay, now he's talking about FNAF 2. FNAF 3, I guess he skips 1. No. What? Yep, okay, there's FNAF 1. Yep. Please get into FNAF 3. Yep. No, actually, that's not right, no. That's right. They were. Oh god, wait. Oh god, I just messed up the camera. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. Actually, that's fine. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. 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 Bro's cooking. FNAF 1 location being the same as the 1985 location. That is correct. 100%. Backed up by Into the Pit. Oh, yep. 1982 is from the Scott Games source code in the books. That's why I think it. Yeah, but then it gets changed. Charlie's death year is changed to 1983 in the fourth closet. I just don't know why Scott would change it if he's not trying to clarify it in the games too. Yep, okay, I agree, Matpat. Yep, yep.
The dead kids from the Foxy Go 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 minigame aren't another set of new victims, because seriously, at this point, the killer would have made his way through like a short.
Okay.
Dead kids.
Yep, I agree.
Tacky purple guy rather than just running past it.
Hmm?
At this point, don't
Oh, yeah, he's okay. Yep. Okay, I agree with everything he's saying so far. Yep. It's a flashback. Yes, okay, okay, guys. He's cooking, he's cooking. He's cooking. Matpat's cooking. Yeah. Yeah, what do you say about FNAF 3? Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. How long will stream be? I don't know. Depends on how many of these I have to watch. Ah. Okay, I guess he's not dead. You're right. Hello, party hat. The reason is that in the FNAF 4 minigames, Elizabeth is dead and Circus Baby was made after. Well, no, I think Circus Baby was made before the missing children incident. I actually have a video on that if you want to go watch that. Okay, he says it's faulty wiring. What do we think of that? Do we think FNAF 3 burnt down because of faulty wiring? Or do you think it was the night guard who burnt it down? I think, at the time, this is before we had an established main character, Michael. This is before Scott made all the night guards, most of the night guards, the same character. So I think it would make sense for him to come to the conclusion that it was faulty wiring, because there wasn't really a story with the protagonist that would require them to burn it down. So I'm not going to hold that against him too much. Yeah, it was definitely the night guard who burnt it down, but I think that, I don't know. Well, let's see what he says. Phone guy, yeah, this is, yeah. And then he says, phone guy, yeah, okay, well, yeah. Like, I didn't realize he made this many videos on FNAF. Well, it's not all on FNAF 3, but still. Okay, that video was good. I liked that one. Foul play seems to be more likely with the burnt phantom designs. I agree. Yeah, I think he doesn't actually, I don't think he said phone guy was purple guy. He just says it's in the next video. So, on its own, very solid video, actually. Like, other than, like, the puppet stuffing the kids, I think that holds up really damn well. I do know about Italian brain rot, unfortunately. I know AI Darth Vader from Fortnite talked about that. Fun times. Yeah, I would also burn down the place if I were them. Okay, so is this just going to be him saying, like, explaining purple guy being phone guy?
Hop into a spring trap suit like we see depicted over
No, wait.
he was
Oh, yeah.
major criticism to the phone guy theory since the release of Fnaf 3.
What's
It's
that?
a good one. The
What's that?
fact that phone guy sees
Yes. Is he going to say he fakes his death?
still be active after his death and the ghosts disappear. It just wouldn't make sense
Right.
unless you stop to consider the rest of FNAF 3's endings.
What do you mean by that?
The twist in FNAF 3 is the inclusion of a good and bad ending.
Yes.
Completing the game normally, you get the bad with Ace. The good ending, basically ignoring those
Happiest day.
victims of Purple Guy. Beat the game this time, and the ending is the obvious difference here is that they disappear for good. They don't go back to their animatronic bodies. But the bad ending, the lights on behind the eyes of all 5 masks mean that these guys are still active. Angry,
Sure.
restless spirits still haunting the robots to this day. Because here's
How-
the thing, the good ending doesn't exist until you, as the player of the 3rd installment,
Yes.
give cake to
Bro's
those
dragging this out.
FNAF 3's
Yes.
of the bad.
No.
What you play in FNAF 1, though, is the aftermath of
Okay. So I think I'm skipping around in this video. I think he's saying that the follow me minigames are before FNAF 1, which, if Molten MCI is true, which it probably is, that's impossible. So,
bad. With the animatronics have killed Phone Guy, but are still out for vengeance. Yeah,
Yes.
you made it through those first 5 nights
Is
of
that what he was
FNAF.
saying,
You
actually?
overheard the death of the Purple Guy recorded live on the phone, but it wasn't enough. You got the bad ending. Even with the killer crippled in the back room in a spring-lock suit, the lights are still on in these animatronics. They're still roaming the halls.
yeah, okay, yeah. And he's putting Springtrap before, he's putting Afton getting spring locked before FNAF 1 too. Yeah, that's the crux of the theory. That makes sense.
Anyone wearing that much hated
Also,
security
thank you for helping me, clarify the points in the videos. Very much appreciated.
guard outfit. Listen, his night
We don't need to watch the rest of that. He's saying phone guy is purple guy. I think it's no. He claims the phone call of phone guy's death is the spring locking scene. What was Matpat on back in 2014? 15, sorry. Yeah. Okay. I don't think it could go in Scott tier, because I don't think it's as bad as comparing it to real life murders. But yeah, did not age well. Alright, FNAF 4. Dream Theory. Woohoo! Who's ready for Dream Theory? Yeah, Dream Theory. What do we think of Dream Theory? I have a hot take. But I'm interested to see if chat has any thoughts on this. What do you guys think of Dream Theory? While you do that, I'm gonna get on some fitting background music. Dream Theory. It's not that bad. Yeah, this I don't know. We'll see how long this stream is. I hope it's not too long. My hot take. I don't think Dream Theory was correct. But I think Matpat did a phenomenal job at presenting it. He brings up a ton of evidence. There is a ton of evidence for Dream Theory. It explains everything in the FNAF 4 minigames. But absolutely not the case nowadays. There's no way. No. But I like Dream Theory. I understand people being upset with it, if it was the case. but I don't think it's that bad. However, we are ranking these on how well they aged. I think I might move... No, I'll keep that there. Matpat was not playing Fnaf with Purple Guy Equals One Guy Theory. He was playing 4 Days with Eddie. Yeah. I think I would be okay with putting Dream Theory mid. I feel like other people might put it in Fazgoo or Scott tier. I actually like Dream Theory. I love the way he presents it, too. With, like, I think he uses the smoking gun as the grandfather clock. Yeah. Or was it? No, I think it's that one. I don't know. No, I don't mind Dream Theory. Yeah. Wait. Is this one Dream Theory? No. Wait. Wait, and that this game is either his name. Okay, this is Dream Theory. We're good. What is this one? Fnaf 4 got it all wrong. Is this just Dream Theory Part 2? I don't... The box? Okay. No. Okay. So this is him talking about, I think it's placement in the timeline, and then elaborating on Dream Theory. Yeah. I don't know. Oof. Okay. Let's hear what he says about if Bite Victim is Golden Freddy or the puppet. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Which means he can't have been the first kid to have been killed. In short, the challenge here is that you have a choice.
Thank you, Strategy. Thank you for showing up, too. I appreciate it.
But the resulting story is more satisfying for him to become Golden Freddy. And either side leaves you wanting more, because not all the evidence works in either scenario. And that is the true secret to Fnaf. The completion principle demands...
Okay, so this one's not really that much of a theory, I don't think. At least not the second half. It's more so him just saying, well, FNAF 4 sucks from a lore standpoint, which I agree with. I don't know. I guess I'll put it there. Because, I don't know. Obviously Bite Victim is not the puppet. No one's arguing that. Golden Freddy? Golden Duo, Shatter Victim. Okay, and then he talks about the live stream. Maybe, actually, yeah. I don't know. I guess that's just him fixing an error he made in the Dream Theory video, saying that this game takes place in 1983. Charlie is kidnapped in 82 and pronounced dead in 83. Yeah, in the books, but in the games, we see her die. She doesn't get kidnapped. And I think Scott would just... I think Scott would just make it 83. Especially, the Help Wanted 2, the Help Wanted 2 desk has 1983 with the puppet. So I think that confirms she dies in 83. Yeah, theorists do overlook everything, especially Matpat. Yeah, it's kind of a mid video. I don't know. Let's just move on. This one's Dream Theory-esque. I know. This one's like completely Dream Theory. Yeah, he talks about Tiny Toy Chica missing her beak. Yeah, is this one Dream Theory? I know he tries. Okay, so no, this one's just him complaining. That's not. This one's Dream Theory, because I know he talks about the grandfather clock in this one. So I'm bringing this one down there. This one's Dream Theory.
Today we end the horror.
Yeah, this is Dream Theory, 100%. And what is this? I know there's a video attached to it. Well, it's not in our tier list, so I'm not going to talk about it. Sister location time.
It's been half a year, so let's do this.
I remember he got like he got a bunch of stuff right with sister location, but he also got a bunch of stuff wrong. Okay. Source code. He brings up the source code. Yep. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Is this Afton? Is this when you, no. Okay. This is the timetable. Obviously. Nothing to really say there. You're just observing something. Entered. Okay. Nope. Okay. He's entered as the 5th animatronic. Nope. That is not true. Not true at all. Ooh, yeah, he's saying entered as the puppet. Or puppet stand-in in this game. That's not right. Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. Okay, he's mentioning the design similarities. Yeah, I remember that. Yep, the puppet, yep. Puppet is not in Funtime Foxy's reflection. Mm-mm. 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 Sorry, Matpat. Nope. Nope. Chica's Party World. No idea what Crimin Institute means. I have no idea what that is. Zero idea. Could not tell you. Okay.
It feels like this new setting will be a storage facility and distribution center for the animatronics.
Yes? Yeah, well, storage facility? Yes. Shipping them out to Fazbear locations? No.
For shipping them out to various gigs across the Fazbear locations. The reference to Chica's Party World builds out the lore of the universe, showing another spin-off location to the restaurant.
Yes.
It also strikes me as just that, a reference.
Matpat, come on. 5 games in, you know Scott doesn't do that.
Referencing the one animatronic who won't be appearing in this new has been noticeably absent.
Yes.
And honestly, I think it's going to remain that way.
Yes.
It just feels like she doesn't fit in
Matpat might be on drugs. I agree.
Party World is a fun wink and a nod to a character
This does support your Claim Party hat.
sorely missed. But to me,
Yeah, no. Obviously, we didn't know about Funtime Chica back then, but that didn't age well. Okay, then he talks about Afton, right? Right. No. Ooh. Hang on.
directory hinting at some mysterious institute and a secret project going on there says to me
Yes.
if we're not headed to a distribution center, then we're going to a place where these guys are getting experimented on, which ties in with the trailer.
Correct. Yes. It's a mix of both. So he got that right.
Quote of a project at some mysterious institute, and
Yes.
you can bet that they're not happy about it.
Yeah. Okay, this is Afton. Yeah, then he talks about Afton Robotics. Yep.
Fazbear and Fazbear restaurants were founded by 2 men. The first is named
What?
Henry.
Henry.
And this makes
Oh,
sense,
yeah. Wait,
right?
what, though?
The first 4 games were crushed under their own convoluted lore.
Okay, and then he talks about the books coming into the games. Pretty decent theory, I guess. He gets some stuff wrong. The puppet is not entered. But he gets like the experimentation stuff right. He predicted Afton coming into the games. Pretty decent theory. And for the sake of time, let's move on. Once we get to like security breach, then we'll fly through them. Okay. Another sister location one. I think this is another pre-release. No.
When it gets dark,
No, because he's riffing on Immortal and Restless.
children's spirits will rise. They will kill you.
Okay. Hurry up, Matpat.
What to do with it? Struggling under the weight of explaining away innards and babies.
I guess he's talking about frustration with the theorists. Okay.
Sister location apart to definitively put together which details matter and why this is such a monumental
Yep.
purpose of filling out the 2-line.
Okay.
Sure, they may have been retconned into some importance now, but they
Who are we playing as? I think he's going to say it's William.
Then there was the crime animatronic.
Hurry up.
More important than any of the rest
It is.
of the franchise,
Yep.
since it practically dictates
It does.
how this fits into the overall timeline. It's a big deal.
It is.
Personally, based on the silhouette and the
He's going to say Rick Astley. Yeah. Give me copyright.
But assuming he has a little bit more respect play as Will.
Yeah. Not true at all. Nope. Custom Night directly debunks that. Yep, because it's his sister, not Henry. Mm-hmm. It is. Jump on the shark. Wait, just you wait. Just you wait. Dude, stop riffing on Scott. Okay. Bro's doing story time. No. William is not... Ennard is not controlling William during the rest of the games. Hello, Michael. Thank you for joining. Yeah, William is not an animatronic. Oh my god. Honestly, I don't think the player being William is that bad of a theory. You made a theory on how Funtime Freddy was never an Ennard and killed Bon Bon. Kill Bon Bon? Why would he kill Bon Bon? Yeah, I don't think William being the protagonist of Sister Location is that bad of a conclusion when the game first released. Now, definitely not true. But for its time, I think I believed this for a while. Yeah, okay, and then that's just him. Yeah, shush. So yeah, that video was basically him just saying, we play as William in Sister Location, and Ennard controls him, which is not correct at all. But for the time, I think it was a fine theory. I think I would put it same level as the original one. You know, yeah. He just got more right in the other one. No, not last Sister Location one. This is more...
Episodes, corpse kids and silent puppets and mob murderers who don't say anything. We have personality.
Yep. Motivation, yep. No. No. Oh god. Is this where Will Care began? Nope. Okay, what's he gonna say about this? Probably, maybe. I feel like he's gonna say Will Care. Yeah, it's called The Killer's Promise. This is Will Care, isn't it? Yeah, I see that. Rebuilding the Crying Child. What do you think 1982 in the source code is meant to be, if not Charlie's death date? The year Fredbear's opens? No, that's 1979. I don't know. I'll say this. I don't think it would be Charlie's death date in the games because the puppet and Charlie are never associated with FNAF 4, other than Nightmarion. Like, FNAF 4 is all about the crying child, and I just don't think, yeah, I don't think Scott would include that, even though he is the troll master. I don't think he would include that in a game about the crying child. I feel like that's something he would rather save for, like, FNAF 6. But he wasn't making FNAF 6 at the time, so... But I just don't think... I think 1982 is just too early. Especially, like, if you factor in Midnight Motorist, I don't know. This might be Scott tier. Just because I don't think anything he says in this video is correct. Sorry, Matpat. I love you, but... Okay, we're slowly but surely getting through these, I guess. What's this one? There we go. The science. Oh yeah, I remember this one. I remember when this came out, I was disappointed with it. I really don't care about the science ones. I'd rather just learn about the lore. Yeah, this is like... Wait, is it? Okay, more Will Care. Yeah. Yeah, this is... I mean, I don't... Isn't this just him, like, saying, like, the bite wouldn't happen? Bye, nobody. See you later, hopefully. Yeah, this is just... Yeah, not that, not my cup of tea. It's still interesting, but I just don't really care for the science of FNAF. I think this one's going to be him saying the fun times of the twisted ones. Who? Huh? I reveal who created the animatronics in sister location. Ooh. Yes. Okay, maybe not actually. No. I think this one is him trying to say that the fun times are the twisted ones. And I think he brings up the FNAF 3. Yeah, he brings up FNAF 3 in this. The illusion discs. He's going to say that the power chip thing on Funtime Freddy is an illusion disc, which that is not the case. Hand unit just flat out tells us what that is. I think I'd put it like there. No. And then another science one. This one isn't even Matpat, is it? No, that's not even Matpat. And it's not even on here. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Alright. FNAF 6, right? No, this isn't FNAF 6. No, this was lead up to FNAF 6.
You know, it really is uncanny how these two games overlap.
I bet.
Colors, they became dubbed Purple Guy and Pink Guy.
Huh?
The two most threatening colors. Taste the rainbow, slaughter.
What are you saying?
Murderer, watching children die because of their different...
Is he debunking this?
I can now confirm it is dead. Like a child wanting a mediocre slice of overpriced pizza dead.
Yeah, I agree, Party Hat. Fredbear was probably, like, bulky. Like, big. Oh, he's using the Freddy files. I mean, yeah, he's debunking Pink Guy and Purple Guy being two different characters, I think. Yeah. Off to a good start. Okay. Yeah, this is pre-FNAF 6. Okay. Timeline. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay. The Aftons, okay. I think I remember this timeline. Yeah, this is the one Scott commented on. Okay, yep, yeah. This is Matpat's gonna say that the bite is 83, not 87. He's gonna say Purple Guy is not Michael, and he's not Mike Trap is not true, and he says Purple Guy is not literally purple. Yes, but I think that's more so in the second theory video. I think this one's just Elizabeth and Mrs. Afton, if I'm remembering correctly. Also, thank you, Michael. I hope I'm not pronouncing your name wrong. Okay, never mind. I guess he starts with William. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Ooh, I think he's saying Elizabeth is before bite victim. Hard disagree. No, after? What is that sprite? That is not what she looks like. Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm confused. I don't think he's giving like a proper timeline. He said he would. I think he's just explaining what happens to them. Which, like, yeah. Ballora, I think he says Ballora is based off of Mrs. Afton. Come on, give me like a proper timeline, please. I think he does in the next video. We'll rank these two like right next to each other. Just because they're pretty much the same video. This is a cool opening. Yeah. Okay, here's the timeline. Yeah, no. Sorry, Matpat. Especially not that. What? What? Why is he saying? No, that's him. That's him saying. Okay, never mind. I know. Never mind. Yeah, not a great start to the timeline. I mean, yeah, Elizabeth is baby, but like Mrs. Afton is not Ballora. But this is a good one though. This is a good theory. I think it would go like there because Scott himself commented on it saying, "Wow, this is peak, bro." All right, FNAF 6. I think the problem I have with like this theory video is just him. No, never mind. I'm not gonna finish the sentence. Never mind. I'm good. Okay. Purple Guy Saga. Yep. Oh my God, what are you talking about? Okay. All right. So he starts by introducing the animatronics in this game, which he gets correct. Damn, that is intense, party hat. Oh my God. Okay. Henry. He's gonna say it's Henry. Yep. Okay. Peek. Yes. Well, not souls, but yeah. Yep, okay. Cooking. Bro's cooking. Okay. He's just recapping stuff we see. Charlie. Yep. Ooh. He mentioned FNAF 3 being the end of the souls. Ooh, bro does not know about Molten MCI yet. Ooh, sorry, Matpat. I won't hold that against him, though. Yes. Yep, okay, bro's cooking. What is that? Blurry contracts? Okay, sure, fine. Yep. I think that, yep, I do think that's the Aftons. Probably, maybe. Actually, I don't know. I do not think the mediocre melodies are the costumes. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how Fredbear was approved. I can see why William would approve that, but Henry? Come on. Okay. I remember this. The 3 biggest questions from that game. Bro was not solving Midnight Motorist. Okay. Yep. Alright, what do you got to say about Susie? Yes. I do not... Yeah, I don't know, man. Right, he says Susie's dog is Mangle. No, I do not think that's correct. I think the dog just dies. No. Nope, sorry, my pet. Loud and correct buzzer. Alright, Midnight Motorist, I'm skipping over that. No matter what he says, we don't know if it's right or not. He's gonna say it's Michael, I think. Yeah. He says Couch Person's Michael, which is not bad. And then the logbook he leaves for next time. Overall, not a bad video. There's a few small things he gets wrong, I think. But I think that's our first Golden Freddy tier. Yeah. Heck, I might... I don't know. I do think he's wrong about Mangle being Susie's dog. Which I do think has to hinder this video. But... he got, like, everything else right. Oh, God, Ard's back. No! Yeah, the dog wore makeup. Yep. I mean, like, I don't hate that conclusion. I understand why he says it. But I think Mangle's possessed by a kid. One of the DCI kids. But overall, very solid theory. Heck, I'm putting up music, man. Alright, this one. The box. I'm good. I'm not a late night gamer. the box. I think that this is just him. Oh God, what? Art, go back to sending those emojis. Don't. Yeah, this is him saying that FNAF's. This is him going through the box, saying that it changed, which is what Scott brought up in the interview. And then he settles on the box being FNAF 6 and just the story in general. So, oh God, he uses the Candy Cadet story? Maybe not, maybe not. And I don't think he's brought up the logbook yet, still, even though saying he would. No. I don't know. The box is not literally FNAF 6, obviously. But he was right about it changing. He's right about it being the story, I think, in my opinion. Yeah. But I disagree with Candy Cadet representing that. So, I think top of Fazgoot here. It was not a bad theory when it came out. Especially since no one really thought about mold and MCI. So that's the best answer for Candy Cadet. But didn't really hold up that well. I think I'll move it to mid tier, though. Just because he was right about the box changing. Scott has directly confirmed that. This is the logbook. This is him saying, I don't understand this. He recaps the first FNAF 6 video. He lines up the names with the graves, which is correct. And then he does not solve the logbook. Yeah, not really much theorizing going on. But still not terrible, I guess. I guess I'll put it there. Just because I don't, like, at least these videos, they're wrong, but they have theories in them. This one's not really theorizing. And this is just stupid. No, I'll move it up. Yeah. Okay. UCN? No, this is him talking about Cassidy. Yeah. He goes, wait, what? I thought it was just him talking about Cassidy. Summon zombie, oh no!
As you may remember, is a direct reference to the purple telephone.
Yep.
20 pages later. Crying child, the one who gets himself
Is this Mike? Oh no, this might be Mike victim.
Exactly what we've been right about all of that, except there was one teeny
I think he's gonna say Mike victim.
was
Okay. Scott tier, Scott tier, Scott tier. Sorry, Mike victim. Sorry, Mike victim. Nope. Not even gonna entertain that.
yesterday was so and what
Forgot about that, Jesus. Ultimate custom night.
to see all the puzzle pieces we're working with, which means one last examination of the franchise from top to bottom.
I bet, yep.
Custom night this week, and then next week
This is just him saying that, like... This is him saying that he goes for the Vengeful Spirit, yep. He says that this game is like a purgatory hell state, which is correct, kind of. It's more like a nightmare, though. And then he says Vengeful Spirit's Cassidy, right? Golden Freddy, yeah. Which I disagree with. Before Frights, though, I think this is a very valid theory. I mean, he talks about everything big. Yeah. I'll put it in mid tier. I think, like, there. Middle of mid tier. Because at the time, this was like a perfect theory. But now that Andrew exists, and Fazbear Frights, I do not think that Cassidy is the Vengeful Spirit. So. Okay, we got another timeline. This means we're going to have to comb through a lot. But we're doing decent on time.
challenge mode set, milking it more than I predicted. His story would be so massively popular.
Structure blocks? Oh god. Okay. Bro's given the rules for his FNAF timeline, yep.
That this isn't just two golden suits, but also that the
Okay.
first Freddy's was open at the same time as the FNAF 4.
Probably. Probably. Alright. Alright, so he says Charlie dies first, then the puppet. No, Charlie dies first, then Bite Victim. Right? That better be what you're saying. I did see the FNAF 2 trailer. It looks peak. Ooh. Ooh, FNAF 2 is juniors. Ooh, what? The puppet later in the timeline? No, Matpat, what? I don't remember this timeline being that bad. Ooh, no, no, no. MCI 83. Ooh, no, no, no. Matpat. Yep. Goes over Cassidy again, yep. He's gonna say that, yeah, oh, Okay, Matpat, hurry up. Yeah, they better mention the bite of 87 in the movie. If not, oh my god. Okay, Matpat, what are we talking about? Not really. Yes. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Correct. Yep. Or maybe it happens after. Mm. Okay. Wait, what? What do we think of this timeline? No! He's gonna teleport to me! I'm ready for you, Ard. Okay, MCI, then Elizabeth's death, and then the bite, and then the puppet? What is this whack? He's got everything reversed. He's genuinely got everything reversed. What is this whack timeline? This is a wacky timeline. Sorry, Matpat. I gotta put that in Fazgo tier. That's whack. Bro's got everything in reverse. So I don't want to move. That's not my microphone as I read, just not my microphone, my camera. Yeah, that's a whack timeline. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, at least it's got content, though. That's a wacky timeline. Holy mid. Okay. Then how does he end this? Hi, bye. Oops. Dang, the merch plug for that long? Okay. Nope. Is this still Mike Victim? Oh, this is still Mike Victim, isn't it? He still thinks it's Mike Victim. Yeah, he puts the puppet, then FNAF 2. Then the bite. Then Molten MCI? Yeah, then Molten MCI, which is correct. Then he gets spring locked? Probably. Then FNAF 3, 6, and then UCN. Oh, welcome back, nobody. You missed mid. Yeah, this timeline's not great either. This timeline's a massive step down from his first one. No. I think... No. Okay. Then this is a pre-help wanted theory where he talks about Jeremy, right? Right, remember Jeremy. I don't know what sister location has to do with it. What is bro? Yeah. Okay, so he's talking... So he thinks that the protagonist of this game is a technician from sister location, who I guess was buddy-buddy with Jeremy? I think that's what I'm getting from this. Yeah. And then the merch. Oh my god, that is a massive, massive merch plug. Holy crap. What does he say about Origin, though? Yep. Origin. What do you say about that? Mm-hmm. That's not entered. That is not entered. Okay. I mean, I don't think he got anything right in this theory. Yeah, bro did not get a single thing right. I think that might be the worst, like, theory other than FNAF 1. Bro did not get a single thing right. Alright, this is Help Wanted, right? No, this is copyright. This is copyright. He talks about copyright, yep. Because in the first Help Wanted teaser, they used a fan-made Spring Bonnie and Funtime Foxy render. Yeah. I mean, it's not a FNAF theory. It has FNAF in it, but it's not a FNAF theory, so... I don't think it's as interesting as The Bite, either. Even though I'm not a fan of those videos. Okay, back to theories. And then we're right back to a science one. Oh my god.
Rebuild the brand. Seems simple enough, right?
And nerd! Okay, so he's recapping Help Wanted. Talking about the merch again. Oh my god. Yep, okay. Golden Freddy, sure. Okay, so he's talking about Help Wanted being the last game in the timeline, which is correct, as of when this was made. But not because Golden Freddy's not in it. But we'll give that timeline placement to him, I guess. Yep, he talks about Scrap Baby being in the game. Yeah. Talks about the ending. Yes, that is not William. Don't know about that, but nope. That is Glitchtrap's not William. No! No, please don't do it. Okay. Okay. Whoops, what did I just do? I went back. My bad. Alright, talks about tapes. Just recapping them. Okay. Okay. I am immune, actually. Believe it or not. I'm Herobrine. Okay, Matpat. Okay. Okay, so he's talking about which ending is canon. I mean, it's this one and that one. That... Yeah, that one probably doesn't happen. Yeah, he's talking about it being a bad ending. Yep, correct. You got that right. Oops. Is he saying Glitchtrap is Tape Girl? You were supposed to be a hero, Brian. Okay. So I think he's saying that Glitchtrap takes over Tape Girl. Tape Girl is now Glitchtrap. Tape Girl takes over our player. Don't know about that, Matpat. William is not back. Nope. Nope. No, 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 no. Nope. Okay. Gotta stop you right there, buddy. I think we have to give him credit for the timeline placement stuff. I know when this game first came out, I made a theory that was like, oh, maybe Glitchtrap infecting William is why he killed people, which is not true. But Matpat, not a bad theory for that game. At least not the first half. I think worse than Cassidy being the vengeful spirit. And I think it's better than this timeline. So we'll put it there. That's not included in the ranking, so we won't do that. Okay. I don't know what this is, actually.
For closer times, the timeline gets so full that the only way to tell a real story, a vantage point that wasn't entirely what it appeared.
What is bro talking about?
Also has the ability to switch.
Okay, I think he says that Baby has the ability to switch between appearances in the games, hence her, like, pins. Okay. Bye, Michael. Thank you for showing up. Okay, Matpat.
It's a theory that's worth chewing on.
What?
Simultaneously overturns a lot of line of events.
What is bro talking about?
And I'm curious to get your thoughts on it. Big like what we missed in Fnaf 4 kind of big. Here's my theory for you today.
Okay.
Mustard Man. You know, orange guy from Fnaf 6.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he's Henry, original creator
Nope.
of animatronics, co-owner of Fredbear's Family Diner. That would make this Henry's house.
No.
House, then this is Henry's son.
No.
He is Henry's son. And then that would make this
Yeah, the guidebooks say that Burntrap is William. So, that's definitely not the case.
Henry's daughter. And therefore, this then would be Henry's daughter's empty room. Now, hold on. I'm sure there are plenty of
Yeah, I'm tearing that list apart. Nope. Sorry, Matpat. Not even going to give you the benefit of the doubt. This aged awfully. I'll put it there, just because I appreciate him trying to solve everything in a different manner. But sorry, that's just not true. Okay. I think this is... Actually, I don't know what this is. Yeah, okay. Yep, he talks about the UCN FNAF World connection. Yep. My god, he spends this long on it?
Easter egg hunts we go on. So that connection between Fnaf World and Ultimate
Mm-hmm.
this for all the memes, all this fun thinking about how sick he was of pumping out new games for our insatiable appetite for animatronic dad. Scott, you're our mom bird, my friend.
What? Wait, what? Why is bro saying that nothing... I know he has the Golden Freddy theory, but what is this? Yeah, he talks about the games being in-universe games.
Know about this is by accidentally lingering. Because the final boss was literally an impervious
FNAF World.
wanted. Glitchtrap wanted. Heck,
Correct.
this sounds nothing like the original story that started off this
They lied.
Wait, what was that?
story of Five Nights at Freddy's was, at least in part, a complete lie.
Loud, red, incorrect buzzer sound. Should have had that ready to go as like a soundboard.
Complete fabrications created by Scott Coffin.
Do you think we play as Bite Victim in FNAF World? No. I don't. I think we are setting up stuff for Bite Victim to do. But I don't think we play as him.
For the sole reason because he was paid off
Okay, so he's just saying that FNAF 1 through 6 were just... I mean, that's...
as their entertainment.
Yeah.
This thing, Glitchtrap, might not
Ooh.
even be a recreation of someone named William Afton.
I mean, it is.
William Afton
Okay, never mind. I thought it was going somewhere. It's not a reboot. Nope.
the story for the next
It's a continuation.
the clock ending that unlocks the key Easter eggs from FNAF 3. It has nothing to do with him at all. It's entirely disconnected from why Scott is there. Again, the indie developer known as Scott Coffin within the FNAF lore is trying to distract us away from the truth of what we should be doing in these games.
Don't know about that.
Importance of FNAF World. As many of you know, Scott has his web. By looking at it, it's a FNAF straight out site. FNAFworld.com. which is
What about the drowning ending? Here's my take on the drowning ending. I think Red Bear is Cassidy, right? But no, I don't know. No. Because Ultimate Custom Night, the Red Bear spray there is very much Cassidy. FNAF World, I don't know if that's the case, because Glitched Fredbear says you were made for one thing. It's tricky. I think the cutscene that you get after the drowning ending of the person holding two other people, I think that might be Michael and his siblings. But how does that tie into Cassidy? I don't know. honestly, I don't, the drowned ending I don't think is canon. I just think it happens later on in FNAF World. So I don't really like to think about it. I just think the clock ending is the main ending we need to focus on. I think the drowned ending, more so, just sets up Ultimate Custom Night. Like, okay, this is Old Man Consequences. His lake can take you to a happiest day. And that's what Cassidy does. In FNAF, in Ultimate Custom Night, she goes into the lake and joins the others in happiest day. I think that's what that is. To kind of not answer your question, but also sort of answering it. Sorry. Okay, Matpat, you're losing me here. Okay, FNAF was not getting rebooted. I think, like, I'll put it there, because it's at least a theory, whereas these ones, not really. Yeah, okay. Cult of Glitch Trap. I remember this one. So, we don't really need to watch this one for time reasons. I'd like to be done before, like, ideally, I guess 2:30 again. Cult of Glitch Trap did not really age well. Very cool concept, though. But there's just one Vanny. But it's a cool idea. So I think I'll put it there. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay, on to the Fazbear Frights. I think this one is... Facelit Puppet Master is when he says Oswald is the indie game developer. Is this one just him recapping Into the Pit? Give Bernie command block. Thank you. He recaps the stories. Yep. He calls the Stitch Wraith Ennard, which is a pretty fair assumption, without having any of the other Stitch Line stories. Okay, he talks about the animatronics wanting to get out into the real world, which is true. True. Okay, once again, Stitch Wraith is not entered. Into the Pit. Okay, this is like the majority of the theory. Recapping... complicated, I guess. Okay. Is this just him slotting 1985 into the timeline? It is. Happiest day, what? Okay, yep.
Not the usual. Oswald's stomach in knots, he moved through the crowd.
He says... yeah. And Andrew, okay, He's talking about the contradictions with the memory and the actual events. Wait, what? What does he say? He brings up the contradictions, but does he say anything with it? About it?
1987. Oh, Susan sighed. All the rest of the kids at the same time just doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense.
Unless it's not Charlie! Okay, he doesn't say anything about it. Does not say anything about it. I mean, it's just him recapping. He doesn't really say anything. Just him recapping it and fitting it into the timeline. Sure. Can't really... I guess it's just mid. It's literally just... I mean, it's a harmless theory, I guess. Not really a theory, anyway. I'll put it above Dream Theory. Why? I'm surprised I haven't put any in Golden Freddy tier. Maybe I'll put another one. Oh, no, FNC is here. Hi, FNC. Oh, no, I'll put it... I mean... Kitty. I mean, like, I can't put it into Golden Freddy tier, because he said that the sixth victim is Charlie, when I think it's Andrew. But, I mean, it's still a pretty decent theory. Not bad. This one is where he says Oswald is the indie game developer, which is not true. We know who that is now. I think Scott really should have included Help Wanted, the story, in Fazbear Frights, though. Just saying. But this is not true at all. Heck, I think I'm just going to put it there. Because it's not. No. Okay. This is where he says, what is chat doing? I have zero idea. They just randomly started doing Minecraft commands. Could not tell you. This is him saying that... What is this one? What? Is this just another recap? What is this? What? I don't remember this. I know it's about fetch. Is it? No. 0 point field. Yes, okay. Talks about 0 point field. What are you guys doing? He's recapping the stories again. Okay.
Theorists have classified him alongside the other nightmares from Fnaf 4. But the last and most important thing to call out, though, is the fusion of human parts and animatronic.
Eleanor, we know that's Eleanor now.
Quote from the book, Rock Hybrid. Completely new concept for the series. Spooky bear that, if you looked closely enough, had all of
That's not a brain, that's just the endo, but okay. What is that? I have no idea what that is, nobody. What? Well, I mean, maybe with Curse of Dreadbear, but, like, I don't think Henry's doing that. Only Freddy. Yep. Oh, okay, I just saw that. Yeah. I don't think he's saying anything here. Wait, Eleanor! No, never mind. What is he saying?
One person getting taken over in one game instead appears to be happening to kids in pizzerias everywhere. It's further evidence supporting this theory that I did on Fnaf VR, where the story from this point forward is basically Afton creating an army, a cult, a bunch of brainwashed.
Okay, Matpat. Okay. Yeah, his first few Fazbear Frights theories are pretty bad. Like what? I guess. Hang on, I gotta think about this. Weird. I mean, like. No, I'll put it bottom there. Okay, this one I know what this one is. He says that the psychic friend Fredbear is a lonely Freddy, which, nope, that's not the case. Yeah. Summon purple guy. Okay, this one. This is about the new kid, I think. Again, he recaps it. Oh my god, why? He says Delilah is the body in the vent from Sister Location, which I don't think it is. No, it can't be. I don't think. Cassidy, Golden Freddy. Yep, recap. Re-yap.
Closing scene, meanwhile, is outside the front. Yet another new school introducing himself.
Yep.
Boys from kids make and then lure them back. But let's
Yes.
talk about Kelsey himself.
Okay.
Mr. Perfect. Kelsey
Yes.
is a weird entity.
He is.
Off. Quote, instead,
Oh, my pet loves to yap.
things go surprisingly. Can you imagine?
Dude, he's just recapping. This is boring.
Revenge
Kelsey is not the vengeful spirit.
In the story, Kelsey is described as having wavy blonde hair and blue eyes. Now, we have a pretty solid idea that its hair is straight, created by inverting colors. It's what gives it that blown out.
Yep.
You get blue.
What?
Like Kelsey is just.
Actually, no. Kelsey being the vengeful spirit. Like, I don't think it's the case. I think it's either Cassidy or Andrew. But I think it fits pretty well, actually. At least with how they're described. Yeah, the physical appearances match. It's a boy. It's Golden Freddy. That actually fits pretty well.
About his own death, perhaps in an accident, like
They're vengeful.
Devin, when he initially can't find
Matpat might be cooking with this. I don't believe it.
we've been assuming to be golden
Yeah,
Freddy's name
yeah.
this entire time, does indeed have black hair, but it's
Mhm.
always been described as long and straight.
Yeah, well, just you wait for Return to the Pit.
And that's something worth pointing out. For as chaotic as the story in this franchise has been for all its iterations,
So he's saying that Kelsey is Golden Freddy. Which, I mean, he's not wrong, but not right either. Kelsey is probably just a projection. I think I'll put it there. Yeah, I can't rake his Fazbear Frights videos high because, like, they're boring. They're just recaps. At least his videos that are, like, loosely associated with FNAF at least have interesting stuff. Okay, this one's about Agony. Security breach.
one also comes with the
Is this just him explaining Agony?
reality. Each book is more
No,
like
Stitch Wraith.
3 and a 5th stories. You see, each one ends
Stitch Wraith. What do you got to say about the Stitch Wraith map?
immobile and featureless, and still inhabited by the spirits of the children. And said he was willing to pay a premium for the
Okay.
devil's energy. Overall, across
Okay, he's bringing up Stitch Line.
certainly feels like at some point all of these stories will come together.
Mhm.
So we're working on chunks of a
Yes,
larger puzzle.
correct,
We've got
yep.
a big chunk over here, that's the Stitch Wraith connections, and a big chunk over here that's all connected through sister location and the snack space, and then you have a few other random
Yes. Okay, bro's describing Stitch Line.
At the end, I
Doing good.
expect all of them
Yes.
to come together.
Yes.
Assuming that
Yes. How do we go from this to him believing they're parallels? What?
connected, the timeline seems to go about like this.
Yes.
Lonely Freddy, the story about
Okay, I don't know about this timeline, but
1:35 a.m. with Phineas seeing in these stories appears to be, at least to some extent, the aftermath of that trilogy of
whoa, 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 whoa,
identity of the Stitch Wraith. It's a bit of a
Matt.
my personal headcanon until proven otherwise. I think that the endoskeleton that powers the Stitch Wraith, the main body
Oh no, he's gonna say it's Henry's robot.
this agony, is the same endoskeleton that killed.
Oh, Matt, you had me. 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 Okay, well, he's right about Agony, I guess. He's right about the stories being connected. Completely wrong about them being a continuation of the novel trilogy, though. But I still think he did pretty decent. And this one's not a recap. This is not a recap. No, not the Stitch Wraith! He's gonna appear from that door. Actually, I don't even know if you guys can see that door. He's gonna appear from my closet. Yeah, no. Where did I put that? Oh my god. Right here. Yeah, no. Wait, did I move? I don't know. Yeah, this one's not bad. Just he loses it at the end. God, you guys are having fun in chat. This one's not a bad theory at the start. Same with this one. They're both good theories at the beginning when he's talking about timeline stuff, but then he just completely derails. Although I think I'll put it lower than his timeline. Okay. I think this is his only good. This and maybe Golden Duo are the only two good Fazbear Frights videos he made. Because he talks about Step Closer and its connections to Mike. He debunks Mike Victim. Talks about Dance With Me, FNAF AR connections. I don't know. His guess is as good as mine. I think he brings up connection to mothers in the story too. Step Closer. I think he cooks there, especially with the gum connection. Oh my gosh, bro's cooking. Yeah, this is a pretty good video actually. This is a really good video. I don't remember if he says. I know he uses parallels in this, obviously, but I don't know if he says that Fazbear Frights as a whole is parallels. I feel like that's more so Golden Duo. But this is still a really good video. I love that one. Heck, I'm putting it above. I think this might be my favorite Matpat game theory video. This might be the top. This is the top, actually. I really like this video. Just the way he presents the evidence and uses that smoking gun of the gum. I think that's perfect. Yeah, it's so weird that Mike Bro's like a theory. Like, you could technically argue against it, but you shouldn't. But yeah, this is my favorite Matpat FNAF video. For sure. For sure. It's a little forgettable, I won't lie. I don't think it's as memorable as, like, FNAF 1, 2, 3, 4 especially. But it's just, like, for what he says, it's perfect, I think. Golden Duo. What? I think this is when he really started to lean into the parallels. Which sucks, because he did think they were canon at first. Games canon. Charged Roxy.
Infected. So are you ready to have your mind?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is just Golden Duo. I think I don't hate Golden Duo as a theory. I just hate how Matpat says... I feel like this isn't the video that popularized parallels, but it made them more popular. Right? It didn't introduce them to the franchise. It didn't introduce them to the community, but it made them popular. Right? Golden Duo's biggest piece of evidence was Fazbear Frights just being parallels, which I don't think that's the case at all. But I'm not saying you can't draw a parallel between Stitch Wraith and Golden Freddy, but just because the parallel's there doesn't mean they can't coexist. This video has done buy YouTube Premium so you don't have to watch the ads. If you donate, I will. I'm kidding. Please don't donate. But no, this video, I think it's done irreversible damage to the theorizing community. It's going Scott tier. Not a bad theory, right? I don't hate Golden Duo. Just it did put it in Golden Freddy. No, I can't, just because of the damage it did. This video, no, I can't. This video has ruined theorizing, because it sparked the book debate to like an extreme level, and the book debate is still going, and it's so annoying. It's so annoying. I hate this debate. Scott, please just come out and say if the books are canon or not, please. Yeah, it's okay. You do not have to donate. I don't even think I have donations set up. I don't know how I could. Hello, Theodore. Chat is delayed. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, no. This video, I'll put it above Mike Victim, but I still don't like it. Okay, security breach. This is... Cool opening. What is bro yapping about? Merch? You're gonna smooch me? I don't know. Okay.
Rather than in the games. Let me explain.
Okay.
For example, in Sister Location, we end with Baby being a part
Yep.
of
Okay, he's talking about the source code between Glitch Trap and Vanny. Have you selected one? I have. Blah blah blah. Okay, Matpat. Princess Quest. What's he gonna say about Princess Quest? I always come back. Let me out.
Princess Quest is showing us
Oops. Okay.
creation of the events from the original Help Wanted. This does a couple of things.
Yeah. Parallels does not mean they're not canon. Right? Parallels can exist in the same continuity. Yeah. 100%. 100%. That's how every other franchise does it. Why would FNAF be any different? When has it ever been like that either? The novel trilogy isn't parallels. I don't know why the community says that.
100% that this is, in fact, William Afton's spirit and not AI or code meant to replicate it.
Oh, Matpat. Oh. Just come out and say it, why don't you? Okay, what's the rest of this? Yeah, he says the indie games are the FNAF 3 minigames, which probably not. Nope. Then more about Afton being Glitch Trap. Yeah. I mean, it's a predictions video, but, yeah, no, my god, dude, Matpat's made so many mid theories. I don't remember him being this mid. What the heck? I don't even remember this video being that bad. I don't know why I don't know. Maybe that's because it just came out before Security Breach, and we didn't know what it was going to be like. Yeah. Yeah, no. Okay, I don't know what this video is. I have not watched this. Isn't this just him talking about the fanverse? Shush, shush. Is this just copyright? Community. That's not really a theory. I don't know. I'm just going to put that there. Did Reddit solve Fnaf? This is talking about Bite Victim's name being Evan, which I don't think it is. I don't hate his name being Evan. I actually really like it. But I don't think it's the case. Sorry, Matt. But that's not a bad theory. Not a bad video, I mean. I actually really like it. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're kicking off game
More frights. This is another frights video.
Hello, coming security breach. The twists I expect
Mm-hmm.
in the game.
Okay.
The franchise might be headed next. Because
Come on,
I
give
think
them to me. Come on.
information is starting to leak out. Especially the books are starting to surge ahead. And
Mm-hmm.
hop aboard, friendo.
Hurry up, please.
Theory number 1: the Glamrocks are secretly toy animatronics.
Okay, don't know about that. What's the second one?
It just be a hey, we've still got two
Okay, what's the next one?
is the real villain.
Okay, don't know about that one. She's long and gone by Security Breach. What's the next one? Right, and then that's the ending of the game. He thought that William would come back as a giant trash monster, like in Frights. Again, I don't remember this video being that bad, but looking at it now, it's kinda mid. Kinda mid. Yeah. Okay. What does he have to say? Return to the pit! Oh my god, he predicted the book. Scott, you sly dog. Okay, what does he say in this one, though? Oh, more mini theories, okay.
After all that waiting after being
Mm-hmm.
the subtype.
Yep, Fury's Rage. Okay.
Apparently he's bosses, and we've got a lot of pent-up theories behind the floodgates just waiting to pour out.
Okay, can you give me some of them?
The future, and some that are so out there that, well, you're gonna see when we get there. So
Yeah.
open your, because I'm shoving
Okay.
it in Fnaf 3. In the newest Fnaf,
Oh, what we found, okay. Look, I agree with Matpat here. I think Hudson is a Michael parallel. I don't think Hudson is part of the games.
Gumdrop Angel released
If he is, he's not the fright guard. So I agree with this one. I agree with this one. What's the next one? What's the next one? Cassidy died in the ball pit?
recently was confirmed by Scott Cawthon on Reddit.
Actually, substitute Cassidy for Andrew. I agree. I think Andrew dies. I think his body is hidden in the pit.
Log of each installment. And that's nothing to sneeze at, my friends. Is that
So,
acceptable after 2020? Anyway,
I mean, yeah, look, he thinks Stitch Wraith is a Golden Freddy parallel. If you're just talking about the Stitch Wraith himself, without parallels, without Golden Freddy, without Cassidy, and you replace Cassidy with Andrew, I agree. What's number 3?
using the ball pit to save the missing children from Afton and
My God, dude, he really did predict Return to the Pit. What? Going into the pit to save the missing children?
using the ball pit to save the missing children from Afton.
Who really did predict Return to the Pit? What?
Let him see glimpses of their trauma. He plans on him physically interacting with those kids. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, wait, and then he says Larson is Afton. In, like, a time loop. I think that video gets progressively worse. Still, I think it's enjoyable. I'll put it there. What is this one's about Scott retiring? Oh, I bet it is. Yeah, well, Scott's not really retired. Okay, this is not a theory again. Also, am I still in frame? Yeah. This isn't a theory. It's just him yapping. Okay. This is when he says Cheek is a mediocre melody. Parkour! This is when he says Cheek is a mediocre melody. Yep. Book recap, I think. Cheek is a mediocre melody.
Videos into our Fnaf series, and I haven't talked about Balloon Boy once.
Mm-hmm.
Not a single
What?
possessed by kids, and honestly, I've just never had a good sense of what to do with
Okay, this one he says that Balloon Boy is made out of wood from the puppet carver.
that. A huge number of Fazbear Fright stories have a theme of identities being stolen. And this
Mm-hmm.
like appears once in every book. The other massive theme that keeps recurring in these tales are single-parent households, dads abandoning the family and just
Yeah. What's he leading up to with this one?
dad up and leave the family. Another who has a
Okay, Matt, I believe you. Don't need to go through all of them. Jeez.
find out with Lewis, yet another abusive stepfather. To me,
Is that a bus? I thought I heard a bus outside my house.
in the game that Afton may not be the father that we've assumed he was this entire time.
Took you this long to realize that, Matpat?
We're fairly certain that the orange guy from the Fnaf 6 minigame Midnight Motorist is purple guy who is also William Afton, and we see that he's far from a caring and
Is this just him debunking Will Care?
accidentally on his watch. Again, like everything with all the books, there's definitely some changes that have been made, but the thought of the puppet having an actual name.
Oh god, he says puppets coils. Oh, I remember when he did that. That's a pretty. Again, I remember that video being better. Matpat, you're like the opposite of a fine wine. You're like milk. You age terribly. I think I'll put it like there, I guess. Okay, security breach time.
Bit by bit, we've been working to solve security.
Yeah, I bet you have.
And so far, I feel pretty darn good about what we've
Okay,
concluded.
what are you gonna predict?
Appearance of glitch trap and the dual nature.
Right. I hate Will Care too. It baffles me how people still believe Will Care. Also, how far are we? Might have to speed through these.
Across the series, there's only ever been one
Yeah,
character associated with long
I don't know how people believe Will Care. Okay, he says Nightmare Own is the blob, I guess.
Charlie in order to fight against Afton one final time, whatever. But honestly, I think there's evidence to suggest
What are-
a better candidate for that tentacle baby. So the final
Nope, baby is not. Nope. Sorry, Matt. Nope. Gregbot. Oh, we'll get to Gregbot. Don't you worry. I'll just put that there. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, Gregbot. Look, I think for the time, Gregbot was a perfectly reasonable conclusion. That's my hot take. That's my biggest hot take of the stream. I know we had one earlier, but this is the biggest hot take. I think Gregbot. Do I think it's true? Absolutely not. But it's I think if you were to come from that conclusion, if you were to come to that conclusion from security breach, I think that'd be fine. Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's true, but I understand it. Wait, where is Gregbot? Oh. Does he say Greg? He says Gregbot and Mike. Mike is Freddy in the same video? Oh boy. Then he says Vanessa's and Elizabeth parallel. I did not realize all three of them were in the same one. Yeah, no. No. I'm not going to put it that low. I think I'll put it there. I mean, it's mid. It's bleak. And then he's doubling down on Gregbot. Of course he is. Can't admit you're wrong, Matpat. Vanessa is baby? Absolutely not. No, okay. That's just him doubling down. Nope. Sorry, Matt. Okay, Golden Freddy.
Thanks for coming in, Freddy.
I don't think we're gonna get to that today. Just being honest, because again, I have to go at 2:30.
I heard you guys
So next stream. Trust me. Glamrock Bonnie. I think he says Glamrock Bonnie is used in Burn Trap. Yep. Golden Freddy. He talks about the princess being Golden Freddy. But I don't think he agrees with it. Yeah, most FNAF fans do not know about the books. I'm not saying it's you guys. I don't know if you guys have read the books or not. But most FNAF fans only know the story of Into the Pit. And just, that's it. Which sucks, because the rest are pretty good. Well, most of the rest. Mm-hmm. Yes. Implying that he is now in control. So when Cassidy unlocks the door and goes in, the digital scream that we hear from the other side is Glitch Trap dying. Yes. I mean, Help 1 and 2 would retcon that, but yeah. Maybe, hopefully, finally putting both of their souls to rest. Security Breach to me has been the story. Okay, it's weird. He says the princess is Cassidy in this video, but he never goes forward with it. He never goes along with it. He just says he doesn't. I don't understand why. I think it's a pretty valid theory. What was the first one? Glamrock Bonnie? I don't know. This one's mid. Not a bad video. I think I'll put it below Dream Theory. Yeah. Again, no videos are in Golden Freddy tier. I might move the timeline up. Just because I want to put stuff there. Hi, Molten Freddy. Thank you for joining. Hey, better late than never. I'll put these in Golden Freddy just because I want to have that tier, have stuff in it. Okay, this is, I did watch part of this earlier. Yeah, he talks about the Staffbot silo, says it's Gregbot. Matpat. He says Gregory is patient 46, which it was actually correct. I could have sworn he said something else too. I guess not. No, this was a pretty decent video actually. Gregbot, again, mid. But he did predict Gregory being patient 46, and he got hate for that, I remember. But he ended up being right. So I think that deserves mid. Actually, no. I think it deserves top of Fasco. Because he was right. He was right about that. You got a joke? Let's hear it. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, FNAF stumped him again. Caroline is playing with her toy. Ooh, no, this was the ARG. Yeah, I don't know why he never deleted this video. Wasn't it? Oh, boy. Yeah. That's Scott here. I don't know why they never deleted or privated this video. Yeah. I think that might be worse than the FNAF 1 theory. Yeah, no, that's not a good... What do you call bees that make milk? What? Yeah, no, that was not a good video. Molten Freddy, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to respond to that. That was a good joke. That was a good joke. We looked at this thing from top to bottom. Glamrock Freddy, Golden Freddy, the missing Bonnie, the infuriating Patient 46. We connected every detail and we called every child a robot. Okay. Anyway, I think this one's just him. This is him predicting ruin. Kind of? Wait, what? No, he talks about the blob. The main focus is the blob. And that's where I was happy to leave it. Yes, but the blob. Okay, so he talks about the blob. Doesn't he say it's agony? I think he says it's the agony of all the animatronics that are in it, which I think is not bad. I think it's a decent conclusion. I don't think it's true. I think the blob is the agony of the mimic's victims. But this is not a bad theory, especially since we didn't know. Since we didn't know about the mimic. Yeah, why does he start talking about the puppet, though? Ooh, wait, is this when he... No. Bye, Caroline.
Closer to that story's publication. Alright, so we know why it physically looks the way it does, but really, what are these tentacles? Well, that's where the...
He's gonna say it's agony, yeah.
I think we're all familiar with this thing's story, right? In the aftermath of kids getting killed at Freddy's restaurants, the creator, Henry, institutes a security program in the form of the puppet. In Fnaf 6, we literally... Tears suddenly form on the mask. Tears mean that Charlie's soul is...
He's gonna say it's agony, right?
But now, there are no tears left on
yeah, okay. For the time, that was not a bad theory. Today, I think it's not... I don't really think it holds up. But I think I'll put it there. I think I'll put it above Sister Location, too. Yeah, I'll put it there. I'm happy with that. What's next? Oh, almost closed it. This is his ruined predictions. No, it's not. Okay, tail. Oh, yes.
Shock. Theory number
Okay.
1, security breaches animatronics aren't possessed, except for Freddy. Maybe some people already thought of this, maybe you've never really questioned it, but...
I agree, but I don't think Glamrock Freddy's possessed.
Right, this would be a... And while we're on the subject of dead kids,
Okay.
theory number 2, Gregory. Everyone's
Yes.
favorite
What about...
rock
Oh,
kid
stop.
was built using old parts of stacked
Oh, God.
buttons. I know the whole group...
Okay, and then what's next?
Theory number 3,
Mhm.
the Security Breach DLC will be the official end of the Afton saga.
It already ended. Okay, again, Gregbot. Again, Mike, Freddy being Mike. Again, Afton being around still. Matpat, let it go, bro. Let it go. I'll put it there. I won't put it above this video, just because I think Kelsey being the vengeful spirit is an interesting idea. Not saying it's true, but it's interesting. Did they skipped the Golden Freddy not existing video because of how bad it was. Yeah, they forgot this video. Okay, well this one, I know what this one is. This one's, Matpat talks about the indie games being the in-universe games. He talks about how, since we don't see Golden Freddy in the Help Wanted recreations of the games, that means he doesn't exist. Pretty awful theory. I'm okay that it was forgotten here. We're not missing out on anything. Okay, this one, he says, Baby is the CEO of Fazbear Entertainment. Let it go, bro. Oh my god, they're all gone. Please, Matpat. Tails was out at this time, I think. I don't know. I'll put it there. Yeah, Gregbot is ass. This one I think is where he says, he goes into the designs of the animatronics. He says, like, it's that whole thing about the shape of their jaws or whatever, and how Henry built certain animatronics, and you can tell. Like the Mediocre Melodies and the Fnaf 1 animatronics. They share similar endoskeletons, first of all, but they also share similar design shapes. I'm looking at a poster of them. Which, I don't think that's a bad theory. I think that's Golden Freddy tier. Okay, now we get into his timeline. The first video is full of fan fiction. Sorry, Matt. It was entertaining, though. Entertaining fan fiction. I'll put it there. The second video is not here. Okay, they forgot that. They forgot the second video in his timeline. which is actually the best one, I think. Okay, I'm sure if it was here, I would put it probably top of mid, because it's a pretty good video, actually. Third part, this... wait. Yeah, he forgot, yeah. Wait, did he? Hang on, I'm confused. Yeah, he forgot the first part. I mean, yeah. No, second part. You forgot the second part. You forgot the second part, which is the best part, I think. Alright, this one is, like, Michael. This one's focused on Michael, and then leads into FNAF 3 and 6. I think he also includes Ultimate... No, he does not include UCN. Yeah, this one's just Michael. I heavily disagree that Michael burns down the locations. Still not the worst video. Yeah, Matpat was on drugs when he made this entire timeline. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this video, but I'll still put it like there. Okay, and then the ending, this is Security Breach. This is when he talks about Mrs. Afton being the CEO. I think, does he include Gregbot in here? He does, because he talks about Mrs. Afton rebuilding the Afton family. Don't even have to watch that. That's going straight into Scott tier. Like, there. Good versus evil. This one is... Is this when he really started to get into, like, the idea of Charlie versus Elizabeth with Tiger Rock? No, GGY. I think it's possible that she's the Midnight Motorist Mound. The Mimic! Oh no. Please don't say Edwin's a Henry parallel. He does? Okay. Tiger Rock. This is when he says Charlie and Elizabeth.
The one that was trained by his son 40 years prior. When they install it, it even comes in the form of his son's favorite toy, a white tiger head. And here's where things start to get real crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Bit more like a man uses.
Yeah, this is it.
But what that also suggests is that Edwin's son David may just be an analog for Henry's only child, Charlie. Not that they're one and the same or following the exact chain of events, but rather that where David goes in the books, we should be looking for Charlie to...
No. Nope. No, I'm not even going to watch the rest of that. Matpat, please stop believing parallels. Please. I hope whenever he met with Scott, Scott told him just flat out, Matpat, parallels suck. Like, this isn't a bad video. This isn't the worst video he made on Security Breach, because at least this has, he talks about GGY, which is fine. I don't remember if he says it's a parallel or not, though, but at least he acknowledges it. I'll put it, like, there. No, I won't. I hate Henry being an Edwin parallel. Never mind. I'll put it there. Yeah, again, parallels does not mean they're not canon. Okay. This is where he talks about... I think this is where he really gets into Charlie and Elizabeth. Right? Yeah. Those two are long gone, Mr. Matpat. I'm glad he focuses on AI, don't get me wrong, because that is what the main central, that is what FNAF is about now. It's not ghosts, it's AI. I'm glad he talks about that. But he still brings up Charlie and Elizabeth, which is like... I'm okay with putting it there, I guess. Ruin. Ruin.
Making us invisible to certain enemies. We can suddenly walk through walls, deactivate security nodes, intentionally...
Okay, isn't that... Yeah, this video wasn't bad. I like this video. He says that Freddy's prototype means, what's it called? I mean, he says it's the same Freddy, but what's it called? Same Freddy, but the reason he's a prototype is explaining why he crashed, which I 100% agree with. He says Princess Quest is the canon ending. Again, I agree. What's he saying here? I guess we'll never know. Come on. Come on, YouTube. Come on. We have like 10 minutes.
Controlling the pizzaplex. Throughout the game, we use this ability to make fences disappear, access security nodes, and teleport from location to location. That much is obvious. What's less obvious, though, are how the various endoskeletons behave while we're wearing the mask.
And then he brings up Edwin and Henry being parallels. God damn it. Yeah, I remember being on Twitter at this time and people saying first half was pretty good, second half not so much. What's this one? We're not going to include the movie in this. Yes. Isn't this where he talks about Cassie's dad? Doesn't he say? Yeah, he says it's the Bonnie Bully. He brings up Eclipse being old, which is correct. Yeah, not a bad theory, I don't think. And then he talks about Mimic being in the Fun Times, which no, but first half pretty decent, I guess. I do think Matpat has gotten better, at least with those two videos. I do think he kind of redeemed himself. Yeah, this is a pretty bad video. He just talks about, it's very passive aggressive, this video. He talks about, well, you know, if you don't agree with my theories, it just means that you're a certain type of theorist that might not be on the same level of thinking capacity as people who understand my theories. Matpat, come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't like that video. Yeah, no. That ain't it, Chief. This one, isn't this one about the wall code? This is like the tally marks, right? Yeah. Okay, bro's trying to get me copyrighted by showing movie clips. Yeah, this is him just yapping about the tally marks, which probably don't mean anything. He doesn't come to a conclusion or anything either. I don't know. He didn't say anything in this video. Where did I put the logbook one? That doesn't matter. Okay, this one, talking about Help Wanted 2, where he just basically recaps the game, says, hey, I was right about Cassie's dad being the Bonnie Bully. Talks about AI again. I think he was doing good, but I do think he brings up the Charlie and Elizabeth thing again. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't remember that being a bad video, though. We'll put that one... we'll put it about right there. And then his final one. I like this one. This was a very good send-off to the series. It doesn't really talk about FNAF's lore that much, but that's fine, because this one's supposed to be different. He talks about theorizing Scott and FNAF's impact on games as a whole. This is a good video. I think I'll put it there, just because I liked that video. And there we go. The last theory. Yeah, I liked that one. Also, I just doxed my college. Yeah, no, it was a good video. I think it's a good send off to the series for him. That's all. I wanted to include Tom's, but I could not find a tier list that had them. So, sorry, Tom. I think your theories are meh. Not bad. This was a good video. Yeah. Okay. I miss Matpat too. Matpat was iconic. It's a shame he died in that car crash. And that's the tier list. I did not expect it to take as long as it has. I thought we'd be done like hour and a half max. Did not think it would take like 2 hours. Thank you guys, though, for sticking with me. I don't know what the next tier list is going to be or when it will be. I want to do Dawko songs, but I'm worried about copyright. I'll see. We'll see. We also still have to do teasers and trailers. That might be next. But, yeah, we'll see. I'll figure it out. Thank you guys for showing up. Oh god, Molten Freddy's joke. Chat is delayed. Thank you guys, as always. Yeah, there it is. I think whenever I press stop streaming here, I think it ends the stream, but I think if I press end stream there, it's delayed. I don't know. This might be awkward, but bye guys. Thank you for showing up. As always, I'll see you next stream. Yeah, we still gotta do FNAF merch too. That's probably gonna be last though. The gay test as a YouTube short. Maybe. I don't know. Alright, bye guys. Thank you.